Hello and welcome to the BMW Car Club of America Sim Racing League, presented by the NCC National Capital Chapter here in the Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia region. These guys looking to start things off here tonight at Daytona International Speedway. This is race number 3.56 miles, 11 turns here from the famed Daytona International Speedway. Going to be a lot of fun, a track that I am very familiar with as a driver who comes a bit more from the NASCAR side of things, but has gotten a lot more into road racing the past few years. I've watched the Daytona 24 the last few years as well. There's been some great moments in that, and the iRacing Daytona 24 has been something that many of these drivers will have participated in, and should have plenty of experience here tonight. Looking forward to a very exciting event. The BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League. Once again, we do have some familiar faces back in the field tonight. A couple others joining us for the first time this season. That is Steve Ficacci, who we've got the camera on right now. He's looking to try and close the gap up to points leader Christopher Hill, who's dominated the first two races. He's led every single lap so far this season. Steve Ficacci, who was last season's champion, going to be looking to try and get back into victory lane here. Has not raced yet with us here in the first two races, but he and Darren Treacle and Christopher Hill, the drivers up there at the front consistently. It's good to see Steve Ficacci back and ready to challenge that number 101, who has been so good so far this season. We want to welcome you here to the broadcast on V-Speed as well. Hope you enjoyed tonight's race, and we do want to introduce you to tonight's sponsors. That is going to be SEO Mike, an SEO search engine optimization company out of Kansas City. You can learn more about them at the link in the video description, as well as Beltway Brewing Company. We'll hear more from them right around the halfway break. The format for tonight's event is going to be two 20-minute sprint races, and where you finish in race number 1 is where you're going to start race number 2. You want to qualify well, finish race 1 well, and also end up there towards the front in race number 2. And you will earn, these drivers do earn points from qualifying and both races if they finish in the top 15. And with more and more participation each week, these drivers looking for maybe a point system change. I know they've mentioned the top 20 earning points. And another good field here tonight. Looks like 27 drivers in the lobby at the moment. Let's ride on board here with Steve Ficacci as he looks to get his qualifying laps in. And this is how they stack up right now. Christopher Hill is currently on the pole. It may not be as big a deal as it is at some other racetracks with the long straightaways and long corners here at Daytona. Draft will be a factor. Just how close Darren Treacle is to that pole time, just 42 thousandths of a second. Steve Ficacci just over 2/10 off that pole time. Such a fun racetrack, very challenging, technical, but also extremely fast. These drivers hitting upwards of 160 miles an hour around this racetrack at times. It's going to be one of the fastest tracks that we go to as qualifying is over. Take a look at our starting grid for tonight's race. Rolling off from the pole once again, the third time this season, it's going to be Christopher Hill in the 101 machine. Darren Treacle going to be starting from the second position alongside him. Going to look to try and redeem himself after not his best performance last week. A mistake early on in race 1 cost him good finishes in both events at Catalunya. He'll be starting from second position here tonight. For the first time this season, Steve Ficacci joins us. He'll roll off third. Brian Kennedy, who's been strong in the first two races, he'll start from the fourth position. Rafael Torres rolls off from fifth. Stefan Vapa starting in the sixth position here tonight. Alan Crocker rolls off seventh. Michael Pavolano starts in the eighth position. Justin Craig rolls off ninth, and Adam Pohl rounds out the top 10. Ben Sellier going to be starting from the 11th position here tonight. Peter Lanik 12th. 13th, Yakov Bielik. Jesse Brannon, 14th. 15th, Aaron Dietrich. 16th, Clint Fletcher. 17th, Scott Kim. Dean Tulin rolls off 18th. John Wood starting in 19th. And Peter Yerxa starting in the 20th position. 21st, Mike Nickum. 22nd, Aspen Belvin. 23rd, Matt Stover. Stephen Tenney rolls off 24th. Barry Duncan, 25th. Robert Benson, 26th. And Carlos Bonds rounds us out here. 27 drivers tonight from Daytona International Speedway. The field in the hands of the pace car now. We'll get rolling here in a few moments. Cheer on your favorite driver. Let us know you're out there, who you're rooting for. Who do you think is going to win tonight's race? We already have some cheering on Stencellier. Got some work to do, but one of his better qualifying efforts in recent memory. He'll roll off from 11th here tonight. The Beltway Brutco machine. We have not been doing the driver of the day vote. We've kind of just been selecting it based on performance. The biggest movers of the race, some impressive drives. So we'll get back to that fan vote. If you guys did like that. Conditions here at the track tonight, 67-degree air temp, nice 69-degree track temp. There's going to be plenty of grip for these guys, these BMW M4 GT3 machines with a lot of downforce. And I believe the package these cars are running is the medium downforce package. Pace car rolling off. It's going to be Christopher Hill and Darren Treacle getting us rolling here tonight from Daytona. BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League underway. Field works through turn number 1. It is Christopher Hill out in front. The top 3 gets settled. And everybody trying to sort things out behind them down into the horseshoe here. Close call. Oh, there is contact and spinning. Ficacci goes around. And we've got cars backwards on the racetrack. Big chaos here. His car's still getting sorted out. Let's go take a quick look at that. Looks like contact battling for third. That was, I am not sure what car that was, but they went around right in front of the field. Possibly Rafael Torres. Yeah, Torres, who had a good run last week. New paint scheme on that race car, and he gets involved early on here. Unfortunate for him. And a lot of drivers involved in this one. Got in too deep. Ficacci gets a piece of it, and he gets turned around there on the outside of the racetrack. That was the 77, or rather the 7 of Callan Crocker, who I think got a piece of him as well. And there was some more wrecking that happened around them, but we are back to live here, and you can see Rafael Torres. He's taking it to pit road already. But a lot of chaos here as still working lap number 1. Long lap times around this place. And it is Christopher Hill out in front. Darren Treacle, the only one in sight at the moment. This has been the case the last couple of weeks. And he might have an opportunity here down into turn number 1. Christopher Hill leaves the door open for the inside lane, but not close enough for Treacle. Michael Pavolano battling with Brian Kennedy. How about Stencellier moving up here towards the top 5 into 6th position? Survived turn 1 chaos. And he gives a spot back to Aaron Dietrich, who's going to try and drive away. Scott Kim behind them, one of his better starts to a race. And a little bit farther back here, the dive bomb move by Clint Fletcher. He'll move up to 11th. Gets by Jesse Brannon there in turn number 2. And Steve Ficacci all the way back in 16th has got his work cut out for him here. Not going to be an easy drive back to the front after receiving all that damage. Board with Clint Fletcher, possibly issues on the car behind him. Jesse Brannon, he is all good. They make it through turn 3, back towards the NASCAR oval, turn 1, where they will work through the gears. Right now 140 miles an hour for Jesse Brannon. Up to 6th gear, 160 miles an hour. Some drivers reaching 170 before they get down into the braking zone here. Through the chicane on the backstretch, back on the throttle and headed NASCAR Turn 3. Justin Craig in tow behind Jesse Brannon. As the top two have broken away, the battle is now going to be on for third with Brian Kennedy and Michael Pavolano. And Aaron Dietrich, already one of the biggest movers, up 10 positions. And side by side, Clint Fletcher, Peter Yerxa. There goes Fletcher with the tow. He'll get around and move into the 10th position. Yerxa back to 11th. In front of them, Aspen Belvin, one of the biggest movers week in and out, running the Dale Earnhardt theme paint scheme. And he is up 13 positions in this race as Rafael Torres rejoins after damage repair. Aspen Belvin continuing to impress week in and week out. This is 3 weeks in a row. He has been one of the biggest movers and continuing to show his race pace here in this league. The line of race cars there in front of him, led by Sten Sellier in the 16 machine. He'll have some hangry, or I was going to say hungry drivers, and I was going to say angry drivers as well. It came out as hangry. I don't know if they're hangry. Maybe some of them are, but Sten Sellier in front of Scott Kim, the mustache mobile. That bright yellow car. Scott, not a good run out of NASCAR Turn 2. Down the backstretch here, headed towards the chicane. Might have a challenge there from Dean Tulane, but Dean's going to back out of it. And through the grass goes Scott, trying to hang on to it. That'll push Dean Tulane on wide, and they'll make their way past. There goes Belvin as well, and here comes Clint Fletcher. Got Kim a little mistake there getting down into the chicane. As battle for the race lead, there goes Darren Treacle. He's going to lead his first laps of the season, and the first driver to take the lead away from Christopher Hill. Interesting moment there. Let's go back and see what happened. Maybe course cutting penalty. Yeah, Christopher Hill might have got a little course cutting out of the chicane. And that is how Darren Treacle got on by. They'll move the 70 to the point for the first time this season. He's run in second a fair bit behind the 101. Christopher Hill is not done, though. He is putting the pressure on here into the, I believe this is the South Horseshoe. What? I just realized we don't have our track map up, so we'll get that up here for race number 2. Darren Treacle, Christopher Hill leading the way. You got to look a little ways back there to Brian Kennedy and Michael Pavolano. And then Aaron Dietrich in 5th, starting to close up on those two. And it is a little ways back to Sten Sellier, who started to break away from Dean Tulane. So really good run here for Sten. Something that he needs after a couple of rough opening weeks. Keep an eye on the battle for the race lead, though. Christopher Hill in the draft of the 70 of Darren Treacle could have an opportunity here across the front stretch. See the big toe right here, up to 170 miles an hour. 5 miles an hour faster than the 70 machine. They'll be side by side headed into turn number 1. Early on the brakes goes Treacle. Christopher Hill's just going to slide right on by. No, he goes wide out of turn 1. And Darren is going to back out of it, though. So lead handed back to Christopher Hill. But Darren Treacle right there on top of him. Dean Tulane with issues. Went around, I think, in turn number 1. Oh, no. Out on the brakes. And lost the back end of it. And he is lucky to have caught the tires a little bit, but ends up on his lid flipping here. Not how you want to end up in these BMW machines. Able to get it towed back to pit road and out of the way. No other drivers involved in that one, but unfortunate there for Dean Tulane, who was having a good top 10 run. Aspen Belvin now making his way forward, still gets by Sten Sellier. Aspen Belvin, 16 positions gained. Talked to him last week. He's enjoying his time here, but here comes Sellier back to the high side as they work down the back straightaway here towards the chicane. Belvin not going to give any room, and side by side, Scott Kim, he'll have to back out of it. Almost made the move there on Sellier, and Clint Fletcher now might pounce at the opportunity to get by the 33 of Kim in front of him. But the battle for the race lead once again towards the start-finish line here, almost halfway through this race, and it is dead even there into turn number 1. Christopher Hill, though, just a bit better on the brakes into that corner. Darren Treacle not as confident getting through there. But he is keeping right up here with Christopher Hill. It's been a good battle at the front in race number 1 so far. Christopher Hill going to be able to hang on to it. For some other battles, this is this group of race cars here. Ben Sellier, Scott Kim, Clint Fletcher, Peter Yerxa closing in, and Steve Ficacci also closing in towards the top 10. He is up to the 12th position after starting in 3rd. He goes to the outside. Late move there on Justin Craig. He's going to try and cross him over. What a piece of driving there by Ficacci. Still not clear of him, though, side by side. They make their way towards the NASCAR oval, and he is wheeling that thing, trying to get back towards the front. Now moves to the 11th position. Justin Craig back to 12th. Carlos Bonds losing a position there to Stefan Vapa. Vapa started in 6th, and he is 19th. Another driver who's had a lot of speed but has had some bad luck or gotten involved in things here these first few races, and looks like he may be out of the points in race number 1 tonight. But doing a good job just trying to keep that car as clean as he can here in the second half of this race. The battle for the top spot, a little bit more space now for Christopher Hill, but the battle for 3rd has changed hands. That is Michael Pabolano, who's gotten around Brian Kennedy, and then Sten Sellier and Aspen Belvin going at it back here for that 6th position. I think it's pretty even here once you get to 6th on back. And look at Sten. He's going to try and make at least a hint of a move down into the North Horseshoe. They work their way back up to speed, almost 140 miles an hour down into this corner. Good wrench BMW machine up there. Aspen Belvin, he's doing a fantastic job here tonight. May very well be once again the biggest mover, but we're going to try and interview somebody different every single week for that 4th interview. Peter Yerxa, he's having a great run here as well, up 10 positions into the top 10. So he is a guy to watch out for here tonight. So Mike Nickum up 6 positions. Carlos Bonds up 6 positions, as actually 7 positions. How about this? The battle for the race lead. Darren Treacle once again working his way to the outside. He should be leading at the line. He is. Christopher Hill, though, can he outbreak him once again into turn 1? No, there goes Treacle this time, able to outdo the 101 on the brakes. The battle back here for 3rd. Pabolano, shallow entry. Little bit squirrely off the corner there. Here comes Brian Kennedy, going to try and challenge back. All the while, Aaron Dietrich closes in. Pabolano was a race winner last season in the finale, and has had some good performances so far this season, looking to try and make his way back on the podium again. And they are going at it back here behind Aspen Belvin. This is crazy stuff, this single file line. But we've seen some pass attempts as Scott Kim a little slow there. Clint Fletcher closed in, but a little farther back. Steve Ficacci is reeled in. Peter Yerxa So Ficacci, oh, gets into his bumper, trying to shove him out of the way. And Yerxa may not appreciate that, as here comes Adam Pohl. Started in 10th and now making his way back forward. Going to work with the 0-0. As Ficacci tries to get back into the top 10. Should be able to get by him here down into the braking zone. He does clear him. So does Adam Pohl, and that will shuffle Yerxa back to 12th now, and Justin Craig right on his tail. Up at the front again, the lead changing hands. It's just a game of leapfrog. And Christopher Hill once again retakes that top spot. Aaron Treacle right here behind him. As those two well out in front, over 6.7 seconds ahead of Michael Pavolano. Brian Kennedy. There's Aaron Dietrich as well behind them, continuing to track him down. Oh, and issues farther back for, that was Aspen Belvin, who had a hard time getting out of the last corner. There goes Stencellier through the kink. Back to the right-hander here, hard on the brakes, and Cellier goes wide. And here comes the 3, aka the 26 of Aspen Belvin. And he's going to try and work to the high side. Gets back on the throttle really nicely there. Able to clear for the moment, and he will drop down in front of Stencellier. Great battles here for the 6th position tonight. Aaron Treacle once again going to have the draft here through NASCAR turns 3 and 4. Just over 4.5 minutes remaining. I think they'll get about 3 more laps after this one. These are timed races, so the lap count can vary depending on how close it is with the lap times. And Treacle not close enough to make any move at this point down into turn 1. He'd have to make a dive bomb attempt. So a better lap there for Christopher Hill. Treacle has been all over him. Those two the best ones in this race. And Cellier, oh, look at this, 2x2. They go, Cellier and Scott Kim side by side into turn number 1. And oh, hard on the brakes into Steve Ficacci. Cellier lost it under braking. Go back and look at this, just lost it under braking. We saw that already happen. That was Dean Tulane earlier. Clipped the grass, I think, a little bit there for the 16. Tried to keep it out of the wall, corrected. And then this is pretty serious contact. But Ficacci able to keep it rolling. He moves up to 9th. Clint Fletcher able to avoid that. As they continue to race it up, Ficacci trying to get that spot from the 6 machine. Not quite close enough. The battle for the lead here in sprint race number 1. It is still Christopher Hill and Aaron Treacle. Treacle, really good job through the chicane that time, and he will be much closer than the previous lap. Just got to time this right. He doesn't want to be in a position to get past coming to the last lap or on the last lap. Just 2.5 minutes left in this one. Really good run into turn 1 for Christopher Hill. Farther back, Michael Pavolano. He's lost the spot to Brian Kennedy, but they both go wide in turn 1. And here comes Pavolano, going to work his way back to driver's left. And the mistakes there allowed Dietrich to close in even more. Could we see Aaron Dietrich on the podium here in race 1? Meanwhile, Aspen Belvin has gotten away from Scott Kim when all that happened there with Stencellier, who was having such a good race, but right now scored all the way back in 19th. There is still a line of race cars here with Steve Ficacci, last year's champion, or last season's champion. We will be coming to the white flag next time around. This has been an exciting opening sprint event. No, almost a move there by Steve Ficacci, who is just trying to make up so many positions after the getting spun out earlier. He is going to go around the high side of Clint Fletcher, but no help from the draft. And Fletcher will get a little pull here from the 33 of Scott Kim. Scott Kim could be in danger if a move made on him. Oh, and here comes Adam Pohl. He's going to take it 3 wide into the chicane. That's never going to work. But they sort it out. Clint Fletcher, though, goes sliding. Oh, man, what a bummer there for Fletcher, who was having such a great race. This was just never going to work. Adam Pohl with the really, really aggressive move there. You see, he just got forced out of the line, and Ficacci, big piece of that one. And he may have something broken. He's brought it to pit road. The white flag is out. Christopher Hill, Darren Treacle fighting for the race win. It's over 9 seconds back to third in Michael Pavolano, who's trying to hold off Brian Kennedy for the final step of the podium. What an amazing race here in sprint race number 1. And Darren Treacle is right there. He is on the bumper. Christopher Hill, he has won everything there is to win so far this season. Darren Treacle, can he be the first one to win something other than that 101? Make their way onto the back straightaway here. Nose to tail down, hard in the braking zone. Through the chicane, a little off there for Christopher Hill. He may get corner cutting. And Darren Treacle going to try and close up here. He may be too far back. It's 2.5 tenths. Racing through NASCAR turn number 4. Here we go. Darren Treacle closing in. It could be a photo finish in sprint race number 1. Coming to the checkered flag. Drag race side by side. Darren Treacle's going to get him at the line. Oh, and he's going to get spun out. And they both hang on to it, but Darren Treacle will win sprint race number 1. The battle for third at the line. 1/1000th of a second for Brian Kennedy. He takes third. And another battle coming to the line for the top 10. Peter Yerxa over... No, Justin Craig gets it by 1/100th of a second. Oh my goodness, some big wrecks here after the line. Wow, that was amazing. But how about that finish for Darren Treacle, who's going to win, coming to the stripe. We'll pull him right up in the booth here. Great job for Darren Treacle. Get him right up here in the booth with us straight away. Incredible finish. I am just blown away by that. Well, I don't see Darren in here. Don't have Darren in the chat right now. Pull Brian Kennedy in if he is here. He is here, so what a finish for him as well. Brian Kennedy, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, I got you. Well, man, what a race out there tonight. You and Michael Pavolano putting on a show for that third position. You just got him there at the line by 1/1000th of a second. Talk about that finish and just the race for you there.
Yeah, we were just gleefully commenting on it. Was a really fun race. Our finish time was identical, even though somehow I got the win. Yeah, I mean, the draft is so powerful here, and you kind of want to be in second, or well, I guess in this case fourth, coming out of that bus stop the last time. So, that was my plan. I was bump drafting Mike to get some space on Aaron, who was licking his chops back there, and but I had to make a good run through the bus stop, and I did, and just barely pulled it off.
You
So
made
that was a
this.
blast.
Yeah, you made the same move as Darren Treacle, who ended up getting the win up there about 9 seconds up the road from you guys. But we had 3 photo finishes for position right there at the end of that race. So very exciting. Did you learn a little
Awesome.
bit there for race number 2?
Yeah, I did. I just keep it clean and then have a strategy like that at the end. I guess we'll see what happens.
Awesome, Brian. Well, good luck here, and hopefully we'll talk to you at the end.
All right. Thanks.
Right.
Thanks, Ed.
That is Brian Kennedy. We're going to hear a quick word from our sponsors of the series. We will be right back. SEO Mike helps businesses of all sizes achieve higher search engine rankings to drive more traffic and increase sales. Contact SEO Mike today for a free website evaluation and quote. Mention this ad for 15% off your initial setup. SEO Mike, marketing websites on the internet since 1997. Visit SEOMike.com. Beltway Brewing Company is located in Sterling, Virginia, and proudly represents the DMV area. Check out their lineup of unique IPAs, lagers, sours, stouts, and even seltzers. Savory and delicious empanadas by Peruvian Brothers are now available in their tap room. For all things Beltway, go to beltwaybrewco.com and follow at Beltway Brew Co. on social media. Back at the racetrack now, and looking at our starting grid here for race number 2. So Darren Treacle wins race number 1, and the benefit of that, you get to roll off from the top spot in race number 2. How about this? Christopher Hill, first thing that he's lost this season, and it was just by inches there. Christopher Hill going to be rolling off from the 2nd position. Brian Kennedy rolls off from 3rd here tonight. Michael Pavolano starts from 4th. Aaron Dietrich 5th in race 2. Aspen Belvin 6th. Scott Kim 7th. Adam Pohl 8th. Justin Craig 9th. Peter Yerksa rounding out the top 10. Jesse Brannon, Stefan Vapa, Yakov Bielek, Callan Crocker, Steve Kachi has a ways to go. John Wood 16th. Carlos Bond 17th. Sten Selye 18th. Look for him to move forward. Matthew Stover 19th. Stephen Tenney 20th. Clint Fletcher 21st. Robert Benson 22nd. Mike Nickham 23rd. Peter Lanik 24th. Rafael Torres 25th. Ian Tulin not in race 2 here. He finished 26th. And Perry Duncan rounded out the field in race 1. But Darren Treacle again going to be leading us to green this time. Got the track map up for you, so hopefully that can help you out. It shows the position of the driver in that bubble. So if you're looking for the leader, look for the one that says number 1. Not going to be the car number. But how much fun are we having here tonight? That was Daytona at its finest in race number 1. Can we get the same kind of driving and racing in race number 2? We're underway for the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League. Oh, I think we've got some crashing going on farther back. 3 wide. Fakachi around the outside. And we did have some spinning. That was Sten Selye who's on his lid. Oh no, not another one. Sten's had a barrage of issues. Oh, what a hit right there. Looking at the replay, he skated across the track on his roof and actually gets run into there. That was I think Mike Nickham got a piece of him. Sten Selye is going to be at the back of the field. How about this, though? Christopher Hill right on the bumper of Darren Treacle. Oh, sorry, that's the battle for second. That's Brian Kennedy and Christopher Hill. Darren Treacle's up the road by about a half second, but you're not safe there at Daytona. Michael Pavolano right here behind these two. Little horse cutting action there for Brian Kennedy. He's going to have to drop back. And he'll lose a few positions. There goes Aspen Belvin, Adam Pohl. And it is still a dogfight right here around the top 10. Steve Ficacci on the back bumper of Scott Kim. Sorry, no, that is Stefan Vapa. And then right in front of them, Peter Yerksa. And we're about to be 3 wide down into turn 1. A late reaction, late move there, and there's contact. And Ficacci's been in the middle of all of this. He had to slow up, and he might lose a spot here to Jesse Brannon as they work side by side. But man, what a night for Ficacci to return. As he works down to the inside, gets into the door of Peter Yerksa. He'll go wide. Now the 333 of Brannon will follow him through, but this has just been some crazy racing tonight here at Daytona. And if you are enjoying it, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Like and follow us right here on YouTube and our other social media to stay up to date and keep up with these guys in the BMW Car Club of America, National Capital Chapter. As the leaders, the top 5 spaced out quite a bit, but Christopher Hill has made the pass up into second, and he'll try and track down the driver who just beat him at the line in race 1. Battle potentially for third. How about Aspen Belvin trying to get on the podium here? And he goes a little bit wide there following Michael Pavolano. Adam Pohl trying to get back up here on the podium as well. He's been a driver that we've become accustomed to seeing at the front of the field. Brian Kennedy, again, a problem in the chicane. Has to slow up to serve a penalty. Gonna let Steve Ficacci close right on in as he now is under a second behind the 77 machine. And we have 3 wide action behind. That is Justin Craig, Scott Kim, the 54 Peter Yerksa. Little slidey right there for Justin Craig. Clint Fletcher trying to close in. Really exciting stuff here tonight. These drivers 5 minutes into this race, and we've already had all kinds of chaos like we had in race number 1. Already had a car upside down in this race as well. That is just craziness. Stencellier on, he's off of pit road. Gotten the car fixed up. They put the hood back on it. Somehow he is back on the racetrack, only 1 lap down, trying to salvage what he can, but right now 25th out of 25 drivers that started this event. He'll get out of the way of Jesse Brannon, and maybe, yeah, I don't know if we're going to get a little revenge here. We'll keep an eye on the 16. 54 works to his inside, down into the chicane. And there is a big slice of the nose off the 208 of Justin Craig. Scott Kim has had a real good night. He is right here just on the outside of the top 10 in the middle of this pack. Out at the front, though, Darren Treacle's lead slowly shrinking as Christopher Hill pushing really hard to close in. And side by side for third, Michael Pavolano and Aspen Belvin. As Belvin goes wide, he's going to be in the grass here. He'll give a spot up to Adam Pohl, who's closed in on both of these drivers. Going to try and challenge for third here. Biggest mover in this race, Steve Ficacci up, that is not accurate. Peter Lanick up 11 positions here into 13th. Started 24th in this race. Clint Fletcher also up 9 positions in front of him. For other drivers who have gained a lot of ground, not too many. Fikachi up 7 positions. Most other drivers actually losing spots here. Mike Nickum is up 4 positions. Good race for him so far. Looking to get a little bit more. Possibly an issue for Rafael Torres, who rolling off a pit road here. Didn't see what happened to him, but been a night to forget for the 777. He will look to get back on track next week. You're going to be at Mount Panorama. That is a track that I have never raced at, but I have seen a lot of people run there, and a very exciting racetrack. Justin Craig now almost looking to take it 3 wide. He'll go around the outside of Clint Fletcher. And Clint trying to hold off Peter Lanik, who is just on the move here in this race. And Clint Fletcher goes around. A night to forget for him as well. Scott Kim also, I think, had a little issue at that time. Let's go take a look here. Oh, he got into the back of the 7 and then gets run into by the 333 of Jesse Brandon as they all checked up. Clint Fletcher, unfortunate for him. This oh, just clipped the grass, and luckily nobody else got into him. He was in a dangerous position there, and he is back rolling in 19th, still ahead of where he started. Aaron Dietrich with problems goes around, getting back towards the NASCAR oval. That makes Peter Lanik up 16 spots into 8th position. What a drive here. He is probably going to be driver of the day if he can finish this thing out. How about Darren Treacle? He's got the pace tonight and right on par with the 101 of Christopher Hill. And really, that's been the case. Darren's been the only one in the field that had any chance to keep up with Christopher. Battle for third, though, is Adam Pohl trying to get the outside leverage into turn 1. Pablano pulls him back. A little air poured on the spoiler there. And they race hard through turn number 1. It looks like Pablano almost able to clear, and he will clear himself in front of Adam Pohl, who now switches to the left side. Try and cross him over here. Can't get back on the throttle soon enough. And Aspen Belvin right here behind them. He is maybe going to be a driver that we see commonly up here at the front. Hang loose drivers here. 208 of Justin Craig, the 7 of Callan Crocker. As we've got side-by-side action farther back. Jesse Brandon in front of Brian Kennedy, Yakov Bielik, Carlos Bonds. Up here as well. He started last in race number 1 and currently 16th, so good night for him. Would love to score some points, I'm sure, and he is just knocking on the door right now. The leaders well up the road here. This is now the battle for third. Pablano in front of Adam Pohl, and this is Aspen Belvin we're on board with. They've got 4 seconds over Steve Fikachi, who has not been able to close in. Aspen's going to be pulling a little NASCAR trick here, a little bump draft down the straightaway. And he's going to shove Adam Pohl down into turn number 1, maybe faster than he wanted to. Nonetheless, he was able to slow it up, and he closed right up in a little clip of the grass there. Belvin looking for some open real estate, nowhere to go. Peter Lanik holding off Justin Craig. Looks like Justin starting to move forward here, a little bit of long run pace. We are past halfway. It's been Darren Treacle at the point all of this race. Christopher Hill still right there, just a half second behind. It would not surprise me that he's trying to set up that 70. Time it just like Darren did on the last lap of last race. Battle for third, not too spicy at the moment. Michael Pavolato, a little bit of distance over Adam Pohl. Aspen Belvin right there behind him. Steve Fikachi is closing in last time by a couple tenths faster than Aspen, and then 8 tenths faster than Adam Pohl. So look for that 00 to maybe arrive at the doorstep right at the end of this race. It's going to take a couple of incredible laps by him. Still plenty of time here, and now the battle for the race lead. Darren Treacle just in front of Christopher Hill down into turn 1. He will hold him off, a little swirly there, and now a battle for third. There goes Adam Pohl with the attempted move. Aspen Belvin right there on the bumper as well. We did have a change. Justin Craig, Stefan Vappa, Callan Crocker. As Vappa is going to go 2 for 1, but goes too wide out of turn 1. He'll clear Justin Craig. Callan Crocker's moved up to 9th. And Vappa, who started towards the front in race number 1, had issues early on. Trying to return up to what I think is his rightful position, probably in close to the top 10. Peter Lanik closing in on Peter Yerkes. Battle of the Peters here for 7th and 8th. Peter Lanik started 24th. He is up to 8th position. Go, maybe an attempt for a move there. Adam Pohl goes a little bit wide on entry to the chicane. And Aspen Belvin's going to be right on his tail. Maybe another bump draft in their future. Peter Yerkes will lose the 7th position to Peter Lanik. So Peter Lanik, breakout race tonight. I think I was notified that he has a different paint scheme, but for some reason it's not showing up on my end. I'm not too sure of what's going on there, but sorry about that, Peter. So we can get it figured out for you. Worst case, I can always manually do it side by side behind him. Oh, and big wiggle there, Stefan Vappa. It's back under control, focuses back forward, but he'll have Justin Craig at the back bumper. And Justin will make a move down in the corner. The door gets shut on him, though. Vappa hangs on to 10th. At the front, Christopher Hill, not quite as close as I expected here. 5 minutes left in this, and he is about 8 tenths behind Darren. At one point, he was right there in the mix. Less than 2 tenths behind, but not able to deal with the dirty air as effectively. He had to make some passes early on, maybe push that car a little too hard, but closes in a little that time. We'll have a lot of draft here. Down in turn 1, I'd expect that gap to be about 4 tenths. Maybe even less than that, as now knocks under 6. Just how much faster he is going. It's 3 or 4 miles an hour. And headed into turn number 1, just under 4 tenths of a second. And big slide there for Darren Treacle, so the gap might close up even more. No, stays right there at 0.38 seconds. This battle for third still pretty hot and heavy back here. How about Peter Yerkes? Stefan Vapa, and all of these guys just inside the top 10. Kim, who was having a really good couple of races. He finished very well in race number 1, 7th, which I believe that might be his best finish that we've seen in any race that we've broadcast. So really cool to see him having a good night. And not quite as good here in race number 2, but just one spot outside the points. Could still manage to get up there. And Selye behind him, who is the only car 1 lap down, but Clint Fletcher 3 laps down, still on pit lane. Aspen Belvin was alongside Adam Pohl. He'll have the draft right here in 3 and 4, but so will Pohl. You can see quite a run down here into turn number 1, but Christopher Hill, he has closed the gap. 2.5 minutes left. Christopher Hill goes wide to driver's right. Look at the third place battle. Look at the dive bomb moves there by Adam Pohl and Aspen Belvin. And Pohl goes around right in front of Belvin. And that is his opportunity gone. There goes Steve Ficacci by into the top 5. So Adam Pohl, problem there. Take a look back at that one. He sent it down in the corner and just lost the back end under braking here. Good wreck avoidance. Just snuck around, did Aspen Belvin. Either way, really strong night for Adam Pohl, who started 8th here in race number 2. Started farther back in race number 1, so, and on the march forward, and still rides in 6th, so still better than where he started both events. Battle for the race lead. They're headed down into the chicane. It'll be a white flag, I think, next time by. Oh, and a little wide there for both of them. Don't know if there's going to be any kind of time penalty. It looks like they're both clear of it. See if we get the white flag here. This will be the battle for the win, and this could be just right for Christopher Hill, who goes to driver's right. And he's going to hold off this time. Interesting move there. Maybe knows that he can make the move on the last lap. We haven't got the white flag signal yet, as far as I can see, but it does look, according to my timing and scoring, it should be the white flag lap. Darren Trico a little hard on the brakes there. Hill's got to stay in within about a half second of the 70 machine. I think we had Callan Crocker go around here on the last lap. He'll lose a bunch of positions. Selye going to work his way past. Here comes Scott Kim also. Steve Ficacci, did he just have problems? Ficacci losing positions. Oh, he lost it at the exit of the horseshoe. Oh my goodness, so much action all over the place. Darren Treacle on the white flag lap here, looking to win both of these sprint races here tonight from Daytona. What a night it would be for him. And a little bit off there through the chicane. We're going to have another close finish. Is Christopher Hill just too far back, though? They are weaving through the corner here. Darren Treacle trying to break the draft. Here comes Christopher Hill with the run. Closing in. They're still weaving. I don't think it's enough, though. Darren Treacle is going to do it. 2 wins in a row tonight. What a finish. What a drive by Darren. Look at the battle for third. Drag race. Aspen Belvin. He'll take the 3rd spot. Michael Pavolano gets cheated again for that final position on the podium for second race in a row. Adam Pohl, he'll finish 5th. Peter Lanik going to be driver of the night, up 18 positions. Man, what a night of racing. You could not have asked for any better. Daytona International Speedway, as Stefan Vapa goes for a little bit of a ride here. Oh my goodness, and so does Adam Pohl. Go through the rundown of the results here in just a few moments, but let's get our race winner, Darren Treacle, into the event, or into the studio here. Him on the racetrack as well. Your race winner here tonight, that is Darren Treacle, leading 12 laps in race number 2. He'll win both of the sprint races tonight. Get him in here. I don't see him in here. Go to third place, Aspen Belvin, and start with him. He is here. Aspen Belvin, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy.
Hey, how's it going, Adam?
Hey, not too bad, man. What a finish for you there to take the 3rd spot on the podium. We've seen so many photo finishes tonight, and another one right there in the Dale Earnhardt machine, making the number 3 machine proud as you bring it home on the podium tonight. Talk about your race. Talk about your night.
Man, I did not think it was going to go this good. Going into turn 1 on that first race and just seeing all the cars pile up, and I think I jumped from like 22nd to I think it was 15th or something like that. I was like, oh my goodness, I've got a chance for a top 10. But no, I just kept digging, kept moving upward, and wound up finishing 3rd, 3 for Dale.
Yeah, great job there to do that. And again, incredible finish there at the end of that race. You just beat Michael Papalano, who he experienced the same finish 2 races in a row, getting beat for the last spot on the podium. So tough night for him, but good night for you. We go to Mount Panorama next week. How do you feel about going out there?
Oh, man. Let's just say every race that I've tried to do there, it has not ended well, either due to my own doing or someone else, but it'll be interesting for sure, and I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Yeah, we are too. But 3rd place will do it for you tonight after driver of the day last week. You come home 3rd tonight. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Shout out to the club and everybody else that helps put this on every Thursday night. It's an absolute blast. I'm glad I get to free up a little bit of time to just have fun and race with these guys, and they're a blast to race with.
Awesome, Aspen. Well, thanks for taking the time with us after the race, and we'll catch you next week.
Appreciate it, Adam. You had a good one.
You too. We're going to go to 2nd place finisher now, Christopher Hill, who just loses out Darren Treacle. Christopher Hill, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got me.
How are you? How you doing?
Hey, not too bad. And man, just coming up short here in both races, but really incredible battles between you and Darren all night long. Talk about both races here for you tonight.
Well, yeah, the first race, in the infield, I had the pace to pull away, but not enough to get out of the draft, unfortunately. So he was, could see I could get like a 10th or 2 through the infield, and then he'd pull that back, and then some in the draft, and I was kind of playing around for a little bit, letting him by to, when you get a little draft to kind of get the feel for it, and then I kind of got stuck in the lead. I was actually at a point there where I'm like, dang it, like I'm not going to be able to pull this thing off, because I needed to get him in front of me to come out of the bus stop behind, and I even tried like going wide on the last lap and a couple stuff just to see if I could get him to sneak through, but it didn't happen, and got super close at the line, and it was kind of inevitable, once he was in the draft there. And then the second round, I just kind of tried to play the reverse role And then I was a little surprised by him pulling the Verstappen down the straight there because I didn't think we were able to do that in this league. But we'll have to look at it and see because that was a little. I would have done that for sure on the first one had I known that was okay to do the draft break kind of a deal. But either way, still a good night in the points. Good racing. It was fun racing close to the Darren there as usual. And congratulations to him for taking the win. And yeah, so it's a good night. All things considered, you know.
Yeah, I think it was definitely exciting from our perspective up here in the booth, and all around the racetrack there were battles, there were photo finishes, for lots of positions throughout the field, and really just a very exciting and entertaining night of racing. But you're still first and second in these first three nights, or first three races rather. So really off to a fantastic start this, and we go to Mount Panorama next week. How are you feeling about going out there?
Well, that is going to be interesting. I have done okay there in some races I've done. So if I don't crash into a wall somewhere up in the mountain, I should do okay. But there's the odds of surviving the mountain for a lot of people are probably going to be slim because it is definitely one of those. Yeah, it's definitely one of those tricky tracks that it's mostly about survival there more than it is about outright pace for most people, I would say. So it should be a fun one though. I'm looking forward to it. It's definitely going to be probably the most challenging track that we've done in this series. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes, and hopefully it's a really exciting race. So.
I think it's going to be very exciting. I think Mount Panorama could be Mount Pandemonium, and
oh, for sure, it
Yeah.
has that potential. And the thing is, it's a track that there definitely are some who are somewhat specialists on that track. So, I don't know if there's anybody in the group that is, but I have some friends that like whenever that track comes around, they tend to be very close to the front where they otherwise might not have been. So it could mix up the order, and it'll definitely be an interesting one to see how that all kind of shapes up. So looking
Yeah.
forward to that. It'll be fun.
Yeah, me too. And tonight, another a race where I think some things were a bit shaken up at points tonight. Really fun to watch though, and you put on some great battles. Come home second here tonight. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Just thank this to Scott putting on a great series. Gonna mention Precision Racing Instruction. It's my business there. We do instruction either in the sim or in the real world, and you can reach out to us either on Facebook, Instagram, or if you're reach out through Discord if you're on the Discord, and hopefully we can tune you up and make you faster and all that kind of jazz. So other than that, yeah, thanks for putting on a great broadcast, and it's nice to have something to share, so.
Yeah, this one was very entertaining. I think you'll wanna go back and watch this one. So great race here tonight for us though, and we will catch you next week.
Sounds great. Have a good one.
You too. Christopher Hill, who comes home runner-up. Let's go to race winner tonight, Darren Treacle. We've been waiting to talk to him. Is here. Darren Treacle, Adam in the VC booth. You got me?
I do, Adam. How are you?
Hey, not too bad. You must be feeling pretty good yourself there. You got 2 sprint race wins tonight. You lead a lot of laps and incredible battles with Christopher Hill. Talk about your night for us.
It was a good night, no doubt. A little redemption from after last week. No, it was a good race. Chris put in a heck of a qualifying lap, and I don't know what happened behind me on the start, but that kind of left me and Chris by ourselves until they got that sorted out. And I just kind of was like, I've raced at Daytona enough in iRacing, and I've raced there in real life as well, to know that the draft is huge. So I figured if I can at least stick to Chris's bumper, I would be okay. And so that was my plan, was just to kind of hang out. I did lead a few laps. I did lead some laps in that first race. And then he took me back, and then I just kind of hung out, and I was like, I think at one point, I think he actually did slow down a little bit, thinking I was going to pass, but I knew better. So yeah, I just hung out, and then I had worked on and looked at the time and seen how much time I needed between him and myself, so that I would actually close up to get him by the line. So I kind of had that calculated, and that's just kind of how I did the first race. So I've had something very similar happen to me in real life when I was running the SCCA National Championships. Can't remember. I think it was in 2015, I believe is when we were here. I'm not 100% sure, but and I was in fourth, and the third place guy, I was behind the third place guy, and he messed up on the infield enough to where it was like I had to go because the fifth place guy was behind me. So I took off. I was like, well, I'm going to try to get a gap. And so I just hit it, came through the bus stop. I was like, oh, I think I got this. I got this. And then I kept watching in the mirror. I was like, I don't have this. I don't, here he comes. And there's nothing I could do. And I think he was like, he passed me at the line for third. I think it was like 4/100ths or something. It was crazy. So I kind of knew better because I'd obviously experienced it in real life and then enough in iRacing that I kind of wanted to hang out behind him. And then the second race, started on pole. I tried to get a gap, and I would get out a gap a little bit. Then he would close it back up and back and forth. And then I tried to let him lead a little bit, but it didn't really seem interested, which is understandable after the first race. So then I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to have to try to get a gap, a little bit, enough of a gap. And then I did that weave and bop and weave thing there to try to break the gap, or break the draft. I don't know if it worked or not, but I got the win, so maybe it did.
Yeah, definitely. It was a lot of fun watching you guys duke it out. That kind of the mind games. Chris did say that he was at one point trying to get you to go past him there on the last lap, and so yeah, obviously you noticed that and didn't take advantage of those opportunities. But really fun, good redemption, like you said, after the mistake early on last week. You come home and the first person to lead any laps, and win anything here this season other than Christopher Hill. So. Really big deal there. And we go to Mount Panorama next week. How do you feel about going out there?
I don't really have a feeling about going out there, to be honest with you. Well, it's not a good feeling. I've run a few laps there.
Yeah.
Like earlier this year, when some friends were thinking about running the Bathurst 12-hour or something. And I was like, I don't think so. I'm good. It's just wasn't a track that I was interested in running that long in a race in. So it's a neat track. It's fun when I'm going by myself or maybe chasing somebody. I just don't know. For me, it's going to be a good racing track. So I don't have high expectations. It's going to be more survival of the fittest, probably for me. Just so much can happen there. So I'll put in some work, maybe get some practice in and see, but that's why I was really pushing to get something good this week.
Yeah. We're hearing a lot of the same feedback from the other drivers too. But man, you put on a show for us, that is for sure. And great job here. You get both sprint race wins after battling hard there with Christopher Hill, who's been, the top of the heap this season. So you outdueled him tonight and get the win. Anybody want to give a shout out to for that?
I want to say it was a good fun battle with Chris. He's super fast, and just when you think you got him, he finds another gear, and you're like, dang it, what do I have to do, kind of thing. So it was a lot of fun battling him. But shout outs, Treacle Insurance Agency, Haggerty Motorsports, Sten over there at Beltway Brewery, SEO Mike, you guys for putting on the broadcast, Scott for setting this up, and just all the guys for coming out. We got a good group of guys, and it's a lot of fun. So I look forward to it each week.
Yeah, it's been so much fun here to watch you guys and the league continue to grow and putting on great races for us to watch and for the fans to watch too. So thanks for another one here tonight. Congrats on the win, and we'll catch you next week.
Thanks, Adam. I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, one more interview, and we will head out for the night. Let's see if we can get Peter Lanik in the booth here with us. He is driver of the day. Peter Lanik, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy. Hey, Peter, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Me? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, you've been voted. You've been selected as driver of the day. We're not doing the fan vote anymore, but man, what a performance! 18 positions gained in race 2. Can you believe that? That's incredible, man. Just tell us about your night and how you got up there.
Well, I really just stayed out of trouble. It seems like everyone ended up taking themselves out at least 5 or 6 positions out of the 18, and then had a nice close racing there with Callan and his teammates. And the first race didn't go so well, so I'm just trying to focus here in the second race itself. So I caught a little bit of cold late last week, so I'm not feeling 100%. So just guess lack of mistakes and a little bit of extra practice from the first race, starting to finally be one with the car, and picked up a little bit of a pace.
Yeah, that is for sure. I mean, you were flying through the field, making passes left and right, avoiding wrecks, doing everything you needed to do. So congrats on the great finish tonight. We go to Mount Panorama next week. You got any thoughts on going out there?
Well, Adam, I was just looking at that, and Mount Panorama is about half the size of Daytona, and we saw some pretty incredible action here early on in both of the races. So it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be a tough race. It's gonna be very important to qualify up high and then stay out of trouble. I have to admit, I don't know the track very much. I always enjoyed watching it on iRacing and sim racing, but I've just over the last couple of months started to spend some time there and learn it. It's super technical, right? Once you start going up the hill and then at the start of the descent, so you really cannot pass there. But I guess you have a couple of good passing opportunities on the downhill. So it will be interesting. We have not been there before, so I think it's going to be a new track for most people.
Yeah, I think so as well. I'm also in the same boat as you. Not really any practice time or anything there. So I'll be learning it a little bit myself before we get over there. But I'm expecting a lot of action. Hopefully another fantastic night of racing. But
I hope so. Yeah. No, thank you guys for commentating and doing the stream. I think we all enjoy going back and taking a look at the race and the commentary. So thanks for being out there.
yeah, and thanks for taking some time here. And congrats on driver of the day. And we'll see you next week.
Woohoo! All right. Thanks. All right.
That is Peter Lanick, driver of the day. And let's go to our full race results as we watch these guys have some fun here at the end of things. For the full rundown tonight from Daytona, very fun night of racing. This has been one of the most fun races I've watched in a while. And Darren Treacle able to edge out Christopher Hill at the line by just a tenth of a second in race number 2. He also won race number 1. So Christopher Hill, P2 in both races, going to be a good result for him as he continues to try and pull away in the championship. But Darren Treacle tries to claw his way back into it. Aspen Belvin, good run. He finishes in third, just 5/100ths of a second ahead of Michael Pabolano, who finishes fourth. Adam Pohl, fifth. Peter Lanick, fantastic race. He comes home sixth. Stefan Vappa, seventh. Peter Yerkes eighth. Brian Kennedy, ninth. And rounding out the top 10 tonight was Justin Craig. 11th, Steve Ficacci in his return to the series. Yakov Bielik finishes 12th. Jesse Brandon, 13th. Callan Crocker, 14th. Scott Kim, 15th. Carlos Bond, 16th. Mike Nickham, 17th. John Wood, 18th. 19th was Matt Stover. Rounding out the top 20 was Stefan Tenney. 21st, Robert Benson. 22nd, Rafael Torres. 23rd, Aaron Dietrich. 24th, Sten Cellier. Clint Fletcher, 25th. And Dean Tooling and Perry Duncan did not start this second race. They'll finish 26th and 27th here tonight. We do want to give a big thank you to SEO Mike as well as Beltway Brewing Company for their sponsorship of the league, all the drivers, all the admins, and everybody that helps make this possible. Hope everyone enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe and like the video if you did. We will be back Tuesday night with the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series, and right back here next Thursday from Mount Panorama here in the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League. Thanks so much. Have a great night.